Hello, welcome to Undisputed Boxing. It's boxing news. We've got quite a lot to rattle through today. If you are new to Undisputed Boxing, Rick and I get together at least once or twice a week to talk prediction, reviews, news, just chat about what's going on in the world of boxing. So if you are new to it, please hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment. So we'll start with this. Manny Pacquiao has retired. I think it's just kind of semi-expected after his last performance. Has definitely lost a few yards of pace, to use a football analogy. But yeah, what are your first thoughts on this?
Well, I think there are actually mixed reports of this, but then it's saying that he's going to be, he's going to be running for the presidency, and if I don't know when that all is, but I don't think you can be boxing and be a president, so it may be relying on him winning that. If he doesn't win it, then he may come back. I still think he could have another massive fight in terms of it, obviously his name, and people will buy it, and he won't get battered, but he probably won't win. So if he could still do the Spence fight, and it'll be exciting. It'll be intriguing enough for people to buy it. So I don't know. There's part of me that wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the ring again. Yeah. But frankly, I'd like to see him draw time and hope it is true and that we don't see him again in the ring.
Yeah, I really, really hope that we don't see him in the ring again, and I mean that with the best of intention, because I've been a huge Manny Pacquiao fan for many years, as most people have, I'm sure. But it does feel like, the time is kind of right to kind of hang it up, whether he is elected president or not. I think, what an absolute legend.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if he does do a massive fight, or we don't see him for 10 years, and then with all the crap going on, like Holyfield coming back, he's someone I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back.
Yeah,
weird age.
Because he is still a massive draw, huge draw. I mean, he's arguably probably one of the top 5 kind of ticket sellers or pay-per-view sellers, even today, even with him way past his best. What's your favorite Manny Pacquiao fight? So to go into the archive, if what would you be happy to see again? So many.
Yeah, I can't remember which, because he's fought quite a few times as well. So I get confused which ones are which.
Well, one Manuel Marquez, he fought 4 times.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody who fought 4 times. He fought Barrera 3 times, I believe. Morales definitely 3. Yeah.
Was it Morales? How many times did you fight Morales?
3.
It's one of those ones. I don't know which one it was, but I think it was one. It was one of those 3 that was my favorite one, but I can't remember. I get the feeling it was 2.
The first fight against Morales, he actually lost. It was quite a bizarre fight, but the first Morales fight is probably my favorite, actually. It was an unbelievable fight. I mean, Morales was never in a dull fight anyway. He was always very fan-friendly. But I remember the 12th round, Morales was way up on the cards. He'd pretty much kind of done a number on Pacquiao. And he switched southpaw for like the last round, and Manny Pacquiao kind of took that round, but Morales took a pretty convincing win. And then Pacquiao won the second one. And then I think the third one, he stopped Morales. And that's really when he started to kind of take off as a name. Yeah.
There's one of those fights, I think it's like got one of the biggest punches, combined punches in the round. So it's that one. I got the feeling that was in it might be even that it might be the second fight I'm thinking of then that's got like the best round, one of the best rounds ever.
Yeah.
Can't remember. There's something about that second fight. I remember there being like, it's something like the second round. It just absolutely catches fire, and they're both banging crap out of each other, basically.
Yeah.
I know which one it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be the Mayweather one.
Yeah. I always knew that was going to be a dull fight. When that was kind of being talked about, there's something in me just knew that Mayweather would just kind of cruise to a points win. I just didn't really buy into that being an exciting fight. Very intriguing, but I'd never really kind of was sold on that being a mega fight. And Mayweather he waited for the right time. It was 4 or 5 years too late.
Like the Cotto. How many times did he fight Cotto?
That was once.
One.
Yeah.
Always struggled to watch the Ricky Hatton fight because obviously, his arm man, he gets absolutely
poleaxed,
done, doesn't he?
Yeah. Was
So
that the first round as well? I think it was the first round, wasn't
it? Third.
Oh, was it?
Third,
Well,
but the right was on the wall. No.
Well, Ricky Hatton had a terrible kind of camp, and he was kind of done then, wasn't he, Ricky Hatton? But he just can't fight Floyd Mayweather in his corner, didn't he?
You can't fight that kind of fight. Senior. He had Senior in his corner. Yeah. You can't fight that. You couldn't fight that kind of fight against Pacquiao. You know what I mean?
No.
At that time, and just that punch he caught him with, I think it was like a left hand. It was just. Yeah. There's about 3 times that nearly landed.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and then one time, boom, just
absolutely lifeless asleep.
Yeah,
that was really a career ender for Ricky Hatton. He was kind of done then. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, it's good to revisit that, and a great end to a career. I don't think we'll ever see somebody with a career like that in our sort of lifetime. I mean, he's almost had 3 or 4 careers in one. So yeah, absolutely amazing. All right, let's rattle off some other news. Finally, we get the opponent. You've been moaning for months and months about this. Dillian Whyte is fighting Otto Wallin. Thoughts?
Very, very surprised. Part of me is pleased, and part of me is maybe a little bit disappointed. Just, I mean, who are the guys he was potentially going to be fighting? There's Franklin, wasn't there, that was mentioned?
Jerome Franklin and Chris Arreola.
And then I think was there someone else as well? I think the Arreola fight may have been one that's a bit more
fan friendly.
Yeah, a bit more chance of a knockout, both going for it. But I do think this is a tough fight for him and a good one. I think it's probably less dangerous, but obviously what Otto Wallin, I think he's southpaw, isn't he? Is he southpaw?
He is a southpaw.
Yeah. Probably isn't the biggest puncher, but very skilled enough. Look at what he did with Fury. I know Fury is probably not taking things too seriously, but I was surprised when I heard it, but then again, it's like fair play for taking that fight. And really, not someone that even entered in my head about actually that'd be a good opponent. I mean, we spoke about a few who would we like to see him in against, and I'll be honest, he never came into my head.
Yeah. Well, I think that fight again, he went life and death with Fury, and that kind of catapulted into kind of top 20 sort of heavyweight out of the wilderness. I'd never heard of Wallin before he fought Fury, and then obviously goes on to beat Dominic Brazil in a pretty sort of convincing points win. That was actually a prediction I got right and you got wrong. If I recall correctly.
I mean, it's hard to really know because I think he fought someone in between that as well. Not a huge name, but the thing is, it's hard to know. I mean, Brazil was a bit like Hatman. It's hard to know if Brazil will ever be the same after his demolishing from Wilder. So and he looked a lot heavier as well, so I think he was in great shape. So I don't know. I mean, early thoughts are I still think Whyte should do a job, and I wouldn't mind betting him. He does it with a bit more ease than Fury, but still not an easy fighter.
No, this is a tough fight actually for Dillian Whyte. And I think if he can score a win, a convincing win, further strengthens his resume, which I actually think Dillian Whyte has one of the best resumes in the heavyweight division.
I think this is quite clever actually, because I think they're looking at him, they're going, right, he's tricky and obviously he's talented, but he's not a huge puncher, so risk of like a Povetkin thing happening again is low.
Yeah.
So, and if that doesn't happen to Dillian Whyte, he's got a good chance of winning because got a good reach, good puncher, has come on quite a lot, hits harder than him as well, stronger than him, probably better reach, very good chance of him winning, and it's this kind of potentially low risk and high reward And the high reward is the fact that this guy did what he did against Fury. And this is why for some fighters, you know, you just have one great victory and you can get some good fights because people will go, actually, he did well in that fight, but he's not dangerous. But actually, it's a good yardstick now. And if he beats him better than he did, you know, they'll be bragging about it. If he knocks him out, especially if he knocks him out, it'd be like, you know, that'll be what they shout about. It'll be, well, Fury never did it. Went life and death, and he floored him in 7 rounds or something. Yeah. So it's clever.
It is, it is clever matchmaking, I have to say. Yeah.
And we're after tickets tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah. We'll definitely be at that fight. So want to look forward to it. That'll be the first fight I've been at since Brooke Spence. For me, a few years now.
I think there's some of the undercard is coming along. So we've got, I think announced today was Brown Babbage, which I'm surprised about Brown because he did get cleaned out recently off some rugby player.
Yeah, he did.
So,
well, he got starched by Dave Allen, 3 years ago. Didn't Dave Allen flatten him?
Yeah, the body punch. Yeah. But he got knocked out by some rugby player, which is even worse.
Yeah, that was his last fight. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know.
I mean, it's a sideshow, isn't it? You know, it's not. We're not looking at Babbage as being the next heavyweight champion. It'll be entertaining, I'm sure.
I'm game for it. I'll be wanting to get in the O2 ready for that. So they've got me sold. I think it's one of those. It's because he'll just come flying out. Brown probably hasn't got much resistance left, but he can probably still bang. So if you just catch him, there's a chance of him getting wobbled. You know what I mean? So I think when you've got that dynamic going on, because Babbage can get tagged.
Yeah. How old is Lucas Brown now? He must be about 55 years old.
No, I don't think I think he looks older than he is. Worryingly, I don't think he's a million miles away from our age. There isn't a look at.
Okay. Who else is on the undercard? Do we know?
Felix Cash, I think. Craig Richards. Not heard opponents. Just these are the people that are on it. So we need to have a good look at it, don't we, and decide what we want to get in the arena for.
Is there any more news on Felix Cash fighting Andrade? Demetrius Andrade, because I think he's potentially in line for that. If he's going to be on this undercard, I don't imagine he'll be.
Well, no, I don't think so. Okay, I don't think they named opponents. They've just said these will be appearing, which then means it's probably shit opponent.
Right. Okay.
And I think this is what you're going to get with DAZN, because it's not on pay-per-view. You're going to get, you know, a good main event, and then the rest might be a little bit sideshowy. You know what I mean? It's like pay-per-view events. If this was like, you know, 20 quid on Sky, you might have been getting a bit more quality.
They have to heavily sell it as well, don't they? Yeah, I agree. All right. Parker Chisora 2. Thoughts?
Another one I'll be trying to get tickets for because that's in my hometown of Manchester. Conor Benn also on the card, so that's a definite one I want to go to. I think this is the one that we're talking about, a big one for Christmas, and Hearn has gone about this as a mega card. So whether it's going to be better than the one we're going to, but he could just be solid. But to be fair, as soon as he said Conor Benn will be on it, I'm like, well, actually, this is already shaping up to be pretty good.
I wasn't really mad on the first fight, though. Did you think it was a good fight the first time? Chisora Parker.
Not brilliant, but intriguing, and still, I don't know. I'm just because I've not been to any live boxing. I'll just go to anything now at the moment. So, and it's in my hometown. So, I think, I mean, it's an interesting start because he knocked him down in the first round, didn't he?
Chisora
knocked him down within, I think, the first minute or something. Definitely the
that's
first
right.
round.
He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah. I'm remembering.
So it started off interesting, and then it kind of like fizzled a little bit. And I think you sometimes get that with Parker. He's almost like a bit nice and doesn't overgo for it. He's got a good chin as well, and you know. So I don't know. It's enough to make me want to go, but I am hoping for, you know. And I just think as well with the heavyweights, you've just got every chance of getting a banjo, haven't you? Yeah,
true. Joseph Parker really needs to kind of demolish Chisora and make a bit of a statement, and because nobody's really calling for Joseph Parker to be getting a title shot at the moment. He's just kind of there or thereabouts, isn't he? You know?
Yeah, but like Usyk couldn't demolish it. It's hard, it's hard to demolish. I think though it's not hard to beat Chisora. Not saying like I could, but I think it's not easy to demolish Chisora.
David Hay did it 8 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm not saying you can't. It's just like David Hay was a quality fight, was that level above. If I look at the heavyweight now, who do I think would probably demolish Chisora? Possibly Wilder.
Yeah.
When I say that, I don't know if Wilder landed, he would, but yeah, probably Wilder, but he's vulnerable as well, Wilder. Joshua, and probably Dillian Whyte.
Yeah.
I don't think Dubois would demolish him. I think he might beat him. I'm not sure if what's his name, who beat Dubois?
Joe Joyce.
I don't think Joe Joyce would demolish him. I don't know about cleaning him out.
Yeah. He needs to kind of make a statement though, doesn't he? It needs to, because a lot of people question whether Parker even won that fight. And if you're not kind of beating Chisora, who's really a gatekeeper now, then does he have any? I
think it could be similar. I think it'd be another points and close. Hope I'm wrong. I hope someone gets banjoed. I mean, it's one of those fights as well where, when we go to the Whyte fight, I'll be like really in Whyte's corner and really cheering him on and that. I'd be really gutted if he lost. With that fight, it's a bit more friendly in the sense that I'll be wanting Chisora to win, but I won't be over thingy. I'd rather probably someone just get banjo. I'd rather Parker win and buy a nice banjo than Chisora win on points.
Spectacular win. Yeah. I am interested in the Andy Lee link up, because this is, I think, will be only his second fight with Parker, second or third fight. So I do think that's an interesting trainer link up. All right. What's another one in the calendar? Another one to look forward to?
Yeah.
Have we got any other news? I think that's pretty much it, isn't
it? We say Schaefer's starting a new promotional company. Don't know tons about it, but
Dickie Schaefer, Tricky Dickie.
Yeah, I think he's got some people from some of the old, some of the people that used to work for
Golden Boy,
Top Rank and people like that, and so he's got people in this company that know what they're doing. So I think, so we'll see who they sign and who they don't sign.
Is it called Ringstar again, or is it a different company?
Don't know the name, to be honest.
Because he did have Ringstar. He actually had some really good fighters. He had Leo Santa Cruz. He had Joe Joyce. There's a few others that I'm kind of forgetting now, but he did have a really good kind of roster. But he didn't get any
traction.
He didn't get any TV dates. That's really where it's essentially won and lost, isn't it? Is how many TV dates do you have?
I wonder if the whole DAZN thing has opened things up a bit, really, because it's like, now Matchroom have left. Sky seem to be changing their strategy to we'll work with multiple people rather than one, and it might mean that they're open to like someone going, "Hey, can you give me 7 dates in a year and I'll fill them."
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right, watch this space, see what happens. All right, well, I think that's pretty much it. Let's wrap it up. So we'll catch up again on Sunday for the review of AJ Usyk. We're doing it on Sunday?
We might do a might do a cheeky weigh-in video if anything comes from the weigh-in. Bacoli fought on the weekend as well in a I wouldn't say pointless, but a clear run out against some pudding and won in the first round. So yeah.
Right. Who is he scheduled to fight next then? Is that in preparation for a bigger fight, Bacoli?
No, I don't think so, because they were just calling out every British fighter, basically, particularly sticking on Dillian Whyte. So they were just saying, we'll do Dillian Whyte. And I mean, they fought Kuzman last, didn't they? That was on the Joshua card, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with that. I thought Kuzman won that.
Yeah, I wasn't really, but then that's not a bad name on your record, so you think you'd be able to propel off that.
Yeah.
But he needs to get the problem is he's in that sticky position. He needs to get a good win, so he's a credible fight for someone like Whyte. At the moment, he's a fight away from being a credible opponent.
Yeah. Well, a lot of those are kind of jockeying for position, aren't they? A lot of fighters like that around the top 15 are kind of waiting for that big payday.
Yeah, I mean, should he fight Hughie Fury? You know, he should. You know, that's the realm of Dubois. You know, that's. You know, but that's my beef a little bit. They just go, no, I'll fight him up there. But then if someone like Dubois came in, they'll be like, though he was saying, oh, you know, any British fighter will be willing to listen. But then unless, you know, he won't fight Dubois unless it's like really good money because there's a chance of losing. And I think he would lose.
Yeah. Who is Huey Fury fighting next? Is it Christian Hamer?
Yeah.
And when is that, in October? I think it is.
Yeah.
It's late October. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the main event, I think. Yeah.
Headliner. All right, cool. So we'll see you Friday.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thanks everybody for listening. All right. Cheers.